pain you can bear for that one. This is what love is. They're teaching us the love is how much pleasure you're going to get. No, it's not about you. It's what you can carry. And if you love that one too, it's not just one. This is the other thing. They're teaching us now, if you love, this only you love one person. Only one person. If you love that one sincerely, then you love everyone too. How can you say you're going to love Allah, you only love Allah, you don't love Prophet? Impossible. Or you can say, I love Prophet, I don't love Allah. Impossible. You say, I love awliya Allah, I don't love others. Impossible. Because then when you start loving them, you must love what they love, who they love. Then it just gets bigger and bigger. It's not just one person. That kind of love is idolatry. You're just worshipping that one. It's an obsession. And that time, you're not running to for yourself so that you get higher paradises. You're not running for yourself that you get higher stations. You're not running for yourself to increase your faith. You're running for that person now. And you're running like that, then you passed it already, what you want. Paradise, what you don't want. Hell, you passed it already. You're not looking to that. You're looking to how to please your beloved. We are here, we're doing things, taking stock every day to say, I come higher station and I'm going to go to a higher paradise. We're praying to say, if I pray this, I'm going to get more and more and more. That is for common people. That is for people that they still have to give the carrot. Otherwise, you don't give the carrot, they're not going to move, like donkey. They still have to have the stick. You don't show the stick, still not going to move, like a donkey. We are not created as donkeys. The donkey will laugh at us on the day of judgment because they say, you have been created as his Khalifa, but you're worse than me. Because 21st century people have become worse than donkeys. The donkey only makes sound for two reasons. When he's hungry and when he wants that. But mankind, they don't just make sound, they will kill for those two reasons. They become a tyrant. You don't see a donkey becoming a tyrant. And so our ego now, how are we declaring war to our ego? Are we declaring war to our ego or not? Are we looking at our ego and saying, this is my enemy, I must declare war? Are we taking our ego as our best friend, just hanging out with us? So in the Dargah, Jamaat, your ego comes up. How you declare war to it? Run then. Run to the teachings of your Shaykh. Hold on to that. Ask for the help. You'll be able to. Don't be soft to this. We mustn't be. Look at the Sahaba Kiram. They were not soft to their egos, and they were not soft to other people's ego. They were not soft to their own family's ego. How many of us now? We are hard on others, but we're very soft to our families. Or we're hard on ourselves, but we're soft on our families, or those that we love. If they're not in the way of haqq, now, how much of a family is that? It's not to say that you're going to hate them, you're going to curse them, you're going to think that arrogantly you are better than them. It's not that. But now you cannot have a weakness now for that kind to pull you away from the service of Allah. And if you are in charge of them, then it's your responsibility to say, move. Like I said before, if you want to bend when they're young, not when they're old. You cannot bend anymore. Look at Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. Not only did he cry, he didn't care for his father. 21 years is calling for his father. And Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiallahu anh, he is not a man that is rough and tough with his heart. He is the most halim and salim. He is the most soft, he is the most patient. He is the one that whenever he becomes the imam and is reciting the Quran, he will pass out from crying so much to Allah and fearing when he's reading those verses from the Quran. He will pass out. But even his daughter is saying to the Prophet, saying, don't make him to be the imam. He cannot carry it. His heart is so soft. Yet, you understand, who is it soft to? To his own son? To his own father? How we make our hearts now to be soft towards the Prophet, towards our guide, towards Islam, and hard towards those that are not in. This is something that we need to know, we need to understand. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, his heart is soft, the softest in the Ummah. And he cried when his father took shahadat and bayat to the Prophet, not because he's so happy for 21 years, finally his father is coming. He is so sad, he says. I would rather that Abu Talib, your uncle, oh my Prophet, if he were to take the shahadat and not my father, because this would make you happy. He said that to his father, and he said to his son, that his son also after the Fatih Mecca, his son saying, oh my father, I just want you to know that when we fought in the opposite sides in the battle of Badr, although we fought in the opposite sides, if we had come together on that battle, if we were face to face, I would never lay a finger on you. I would never pull a sword on you, never. Meaning, the son, listen carefully, this is what majority of the Muslims, they're thinking. Leave everything, family is the highest. Leave everything, blood is the strongest. Doesn't matter, different nationality, different religions, different culture, different right or wrong, doesn't matter. Blood is higher than that. Blood is higher than haqq. Who is teaching you this? Oh, unbelievers' ideology. Because Abu Bakr Siddiq, he didn't show us that. Holy Prophet, he didn't show us that. We never hear them saying they hate. They don't hate. We're not telling you to hate. But you don't have that love. They didn't hate, but they don't have that love. Because their love is for that one, the Prophet, for their guide. And that son said to the father, like so many today saying, you are still my father, although we belong to different camps, different understanding. I would not let that to interfere. I will never pull my sword. Understand, this is not only is going to increase your iman, this is going to have the ashq that we're looking for. And if we're in this way without any ashq, you're going to get bored. You're going to leave soon. You're going to leave. All this sacrifice for what? All this hardship for what if you don't have ashq? For what? We'll pull yourselves away from making your ego to be happy on top of this mountain, living a simple life, but a very busy life. For what? If that is not giving you the love and the ashq, then it's just going to be something that is very bitter, because you work and you work and you work, and you're not receiving the payment. They're sending it to you and you don't want it. So the son saying, oh my father, I would never do that. I just want you to know you're still my father, I still love you. What did Abu Bakr Siddiq say? He said, oh my son, for you to know, if we had faced to each other on the battle of Badr, I will definitely pull my sword and kill you. You understand? Am I saying go and kill your parents? Go and kill your son? No, I'm not saying that at all. But this is the distinction in their minds. What that ashq is for, who it is for. Give everything back to its owner. Don't steal anything. Give everything back to its owner. The owner of Ashq is Allah. Allah has given it to the Prophet ﷺ. Prophet ﷺ, he is the distributor. You understand? He takes and he distributes. Give everything back to its owner. We don't own anything. This is fakir. People flying when they talk about tasawwuf or Sufism or to become dervish or to become fakir, flying, but they're not understanding. This is fakir then. You have nothing. You don't own anything. You understand? You don't own that love. You don't own your desires. We don't own our lives. This life was given to us and is going to be returned. There's nothing. We don't even own the breath. What is it that we own? Nothing. So the dervish, the fakir, understanding that we are poor, we don't have anything. And things that is given to us as an amanat, as a trust, we must return, we cannot keep. The truth that comes, we must return. The batil that comes, we must return. We don't keep. That time, you keep yourself straight. Otherwise, a little bit bending here, a little bit bending there, a little bit bending here. This is not how Prophet was. This is not how the Sahabi were. This is not how our sheikhs. This is 21st century kind of Sufism or Islam. You go straight, little bit bend. You must bend because Islam says it's merciful. Don't force anything, so you must bend. This one saying like this, you must bend this way, you must bend this way, you must bend this way. No honor. We are very weak ones. We're holding on to the strong ones. That time they can give us the strength. The strength is not coming like some people from within. It's given to us. Yes, everything is in us, but we have to have that one who holds the key to open it. We don't hold the key. We don't. Allah has given all the keys to the Prophet ﷺ, and He is giving it to those ones who are going to represent Him. And they say, you want to find your treasures? Go to that one, he has the key. Understand? Inshallah, people understand. We will see. It is with the tests that your reality will come out. It is through the hardship that your reality is going to come out. It is through the sacrifice and the suffering your reality is going to come out. It is not through pleasure, it is not through the ease. Not. Even if you want to test something that is a gold, you have to make it to go through an acid test. In this world, if you want to have purity, you have to burn off so many of the things that's not there. There's suffering. You want to discover your own real self, your own purity. When you go through difficulties, don't complain. When you go through difficulties, don't start looking down like this. Oh, I'm the only one with all the problems in the whole wide world for all thousands of years. No, open your eyes a little bit. Lift up your face a little bit. Look around. Have some perspective. That life becomes bearable. Then you realize, I don't own this. Allah is putting me through a test. I don't own this. Allah is the owner. It hurts a little bit, pull that away. I don't like to part with that one. That one I love so much. What happens when you die? So many people thinking they have faith, when Allah sending the angel of death to take their life, they lose their faith right away because they don't want to die. They don't want to be separated. They're disobeying Allah and they're disobeying the angel of death. Say, I'm not going to come out. I'm attached to this one. I'm attached to this dunya so much. You still didn't die before you die, then you're in trouble. You didn't die before you die, you're in trouble. This is not, oh, don't worry, when the time comes I'm going to make it. No, never when the time comes. Everything is through training. Everything is through training. Even Prophet ﷺ, before he received the wahi, he was always in training. He was always in seclusion. Every year that we know, in the month of Ramadan, he's always secluding himself before prophecy, before prophethood was given. A Prophet ﷺ has to go through that training, that when he was a boy, his heart was split open. It was clean, real split open. Later it happened again. Later it happened again. What about us? We say, oh, don't worry, everything is going to be okay. New style, don't worry, my sheikh is going to take care of it. Your sheikh became a magician now. Look at the lives of the Sahabi Kiram. Did the Sahabi Kiram leave it to the Prophet ﷺ, or did they run? They ran. And they were tested. Those who were not sincere, they failed. Those who were not sincere, they failed. They were eating with him. They were drinking with him. They were praying behind him. We can only dream about the Prophet ﷺ. Fahri Kainat. They were kissing his hand. They were eating from the same bowl. Yet, they left and they betrayed because they were not sincere. They failed because they didn't put their Prophet first. They put their ego first. So if it can happen to them, definitely can happen to us. Are we looking at that every day? To say it can happen to me. Well, what am I going to do then? What am I going to do? We passed Ashura. Don't think that Ashura is not going to happen again. It has happened. It is still happening. It is going to happen to us. Where are we going to be? It's going to happen to us. Where are we going to be? If we are not training ourselves to be here, at least when there's nothing, just ease. Just to come, say once a week, or twice a week, or to be on time. When there's just very easy. If we cannot sacrifice ourselves, then in the event of Ashura, in the event of Karbala, Karbala is going to happen to us. What are we going to do? These examples that is coming, we should take into our lives, and really the believer must say, what am I going to do in that situation? If the Sheikh says, now we're going to leave, we're going to move. Everybody take your stuff, we're going to move somewhere. Knowing that the enemies are going to come. What are you going to do? What is going to pass through your heart? And don't think, oh, when that time comes, it's okay. No, if you're not training for now, that time you're not going to be prepared at all. Okay, you're training a little bit. You say, oh, I'm so weak. Then you must run to do something. The believer, the one sincere, is not going to say, oh, I'm so weak, I'm so low one, and just sitting over there and keep praising yourself that you are the low one. That's not a believer too. That's not being sincere. You ever see anyone saying, oh, I'm so hungry, and they don't go to eat? Or I need to go to bathroom, I really need to, and they don't move for these low animal desires and appetites. You know how to move. You know how to fill yourself, and you know how to empty yourself. Then what about filling yourself spiritually? So don't just say, I'm so weak, I'm not. Then run. Take one step. You say, that time you say, may Allah and His Prophet and our Shaykh give me strength. And this is my proof. I cannot do 100. I can do 1. I can do 2. I can do 3. When the wash-up happening, I understand. When the advice is given, I'm not going to be stubborn. I'm going to check with my ego that is always going to fool me to misunderstanding things, or not hearing things, or being lazy with things, or being heedless with things. This is how you are going to prepare. This is how it's going to stop you from being insincere. This is what's going to make you to become sincere. Not only you doing it, fighting against yourself, other people are going to say too, why you have to do this? Why you have to listen to him? Why you have to go? Why this? Why this? How are you going to stand that time? Strong. This is how you're going to fight. Then that time, when the Karbala happens again, now you're going to say, this is according to my shan. This is according to my honor. I just have to go. I don't care who it is. I just have to go. But test yourself. What if my husband says no? What if my wife says no? What if my children says no? You go, you're never going. What if? More you're putting yourself to that, more the help that you are asking will be sent. More easy it's going to be for you when the time comes. Because you're doing that, it's easy then, inshallah rahman, for their hearts to change. When you are denying that, when you say, you're running away from that, I'm not going to think, more their hearts are going to harden. Because they're looking and they say, you don't understand the seriousness of the problem. Those ones who were with Hazrat Hussein, that they left him, you think they were not praying 5 times a day? They were. They were following Ahlul Bayt. Of course they were doing more than that. Of course they're making zikr, mawlid, forget about it. They were living the mawlid. Yet they were not sincere. Because they had different idea, a different intention, and they didn't test themselves the sincerity of their own intentions. They were not aware. And they thought it was just a joke. There's some people being around us saying it's just a joke. So, put ourselves through that understanding. Think. Put your head to the floor, make sajda, and ask Allah to send help. More that time, yes, that ashq will start growing in us. Inshallah. To those who want to listen. Those who don't want to listen, you are free to. Amin Allahu Tawfiq al-Fatiha.